8 US A-10 Warthog deployed to Jordan. It says that these sort of planes are used for ground invasion or something like that. What is your understanding of that, and what was the necessity of sending them if they're in Jordan?
Well, if they've sent them, and again, I haven't seen that report, so I don't know if it's just more internet speculation or confirmed. But if they've sent them, the intent they're used for what's called close air support. So these they would be used out in the Persian Gulf against Iranian vessels. And if the United States chooses to do this, it's just going to unleash. Iran's going to start bombing the hell out of Muwafaq al-Salti Air Base, where those planes are based. So they'll take off, and then when they come back, they may not have any place to land once Iran gets finished with them. So this is another attempt by the United States to try to, I think, intimidate Iran and try to control what's going on in the Strait of Hormuz. So it is, I just look at the map here to see how many ships, what the activity level is. So there's right now, there's one ship called the Cebus, which is a liquid propane gas tanker, LPG. And its destination, it loaded up at the UAE port of Khor, and so it's heading out, through the Omani route. And I don't know if Iran's going to allow it to go or try to challenge it. So there's not a lot of ships going that way, but there are a few. There are many more that are coming out on the Iranian side.
Yeah. So it seems that the Trump administration is trying to somehow control the Strait of Hormuz. We have two sides fighting. I don't know if that's going to get them back to war, no round of war, but this sort of confrontation is going to escalate. We've seen that before with the blockade, and it's going to be the same. I don't see, without any sort of, the two sides, they have to attack each other if they try to confront each other in the Strait of Hormuz. But by the way, the strait is so narrow, it's not that wide.
Right. It's about 20 miles, the distance. So, yeah, it's not big. Again, bringing those A-10s to Jordan is, I'm not really understanding the logic. So to deploy them, it's like if you've got a report that Iran is attacking a particular vessel and they've got ships, they have Iranian speedboats out there doing it. By the time, if they alert those planes and they take off to go attack the Iranian targets, it's going to be, 45 minutes to an hour before they get there. And the situation on the ground will have changed. So I'm not sure what they haven't really thought this through. Yeah, they can use it to attack Iranian vessels, but they keep forgetting that Iran's going to retaliate with ballistic missiles at in this case the Muwafaq al-Salti Air Base.
Yeah. Larry, I want to talk about the foreign policy of the United States. Yesterday was July 4th, and everybody knows how important that is for the United States, for the history of the United States. And it was the 250th Independence Day of the United States, which is so important. And I think coming to 2026, the United States is dealing with many issues. But before getting to my question, here is what Donald Trump said about the Independence Day.
Republic on earth, but our country is just getting started because the best is yet to come. This is only the dawn of the golden age of America. And on this 250th 4th of July, we declare, just as they did 2.5 centuries ago, that for our country and for our children and for the cause of liberty, we are going to take our country to new levels, to levels not reached. We're going to make it bigger, better, stronger, and we're going to love it even more. And I just want to thank you, and the inconvenience.
Yeah. Here is what he said, Larry. Looking at the history of the United States is, in many ways, is amazing, in my opinion, because their independence of the British, they fought so hard to be independent. They you experienced the colonialism of, because you were the colony of the British Empire, and fighting back for many years, and then the Independence Day, and looking at the United States today, in the eyes of most of the people would argue the foreign policy of the United States today is the outcome of a doctrine of a guy that you know him personally, which called Wolfowitz. And the doctrine is still in place, and you see the main concepts of the doctrine is no superpower and no regional power. You have to do everything to fight back, to try to destroy them or somehow weaken them in the region, so you're not going to have any superpower or regional power. This is the policy of the United States as we see in 2026, with two active wars, one against a superpower, Russia in Ukraine, and the other one against a regional power, Iran in the West Asia. And both wars are active as we talk. Do you think that the United States is still dealing with identity crisis, or how is that? What does that mean for the United States for the years to come? Because Donald Trump is talking about the years ahead are going to be better and we're going to improve a lot. Is that the sign that we're getting from the foreign policy of the United States?
Well, actually, I think it's a matter of the United States, people of America, forgetting who they are or who they're supposed to be.